Welcome back, wood lovers. Today we've got something a little bit different, but still very exciting. And it's in here. And this feels heavy. So, that's our first indicator as to what might be in here. Let's give it a little open. This comes from Feel Good Wood on Instagram. Yeah. And this is something you don't see very often, especially not in this country. That's right, I'm going to make a marimba. No, I'm not. Feel Good Wood from Neil. Thank you, Neil. Oh yeah. This is some African blackwood, Dalbergia Melanoxylon from Tanzania. And this is FSC certified, which is pretty cool. Oh yeah. Now, I know that we've already covered, in fact, episode 1 was African blackwood, but that was a back and side set. And this is a new one for me, African blackwood for fingerboards. And it's a topic that we should cover because the acoustic guitar is a very complex system, and basically anything that vibrates on the acoustic guitar, i.e. everything, is worth paying attention to when it comes to the sound of your instrument. And obviously the fingerboard is a very important part of the acoustic guitar. Along with the rest of the neck, it's the primary interface between you and the instrument. So the fingerboard has to withstand the wear of time of the strings, but it also contributes to the overall feel of the neck, the stiffness of the neck, and the look as well. So to what degree does a fingerboard impact the sound of an instrument? It's really difficult to say, but if you approach it from the point of view that everything on the instrument that vibrates is worth paying attention to, then to me it makes sense to use a material that has a nice ring to it, that's musical, that has something going on, whilst also something that is beautiful, but also something that is fit for purpose, i.e. is going to resist the string wear, and it's going to feel nice and smooth underneath the string when you're doing bends, all this kind of thing. As we know, African blackwood is extremely hard. It's in something like 3,670 on the Janka scale, so very, very hard indeed. Somebody asked me in the comments about cataloge as a fingerboard material, which is just behind African blackwood. I think it's like 10 pounds force less. And then we were talking about, well, could you use something even harder? And yeah, you could. There are plenty of materials harder than wood, but then it comes down to, you know, workability. Not all luthiers have the ability to work things that are much harder than something like African blackwood. We're predominantly using hand tools, you know, hand sharpened cutting edges. Anything much harder than this is just going to dull the tools and just make it impossible to work, make our lives a misery. So it's a trade-off between having something that is really hard and long-lasting, but is also, we have the capability to work with it as a one-man or one-person enterprise. So these are all beautifully quarter-sawn, really lovely African blackwood fingerboards with matching bridge blanks, and they are heavy but really ringy, vitreous, high Q woods. And if we think of from that standpoint of using musical components everywhere throughout the guitar, to me it kind of tallies towards making a really pleasing sounding instrument. So there we go, something a little bit different for today. Dalbergia Melanoxylon African blackwood from Tanzania from Feel Good Wood, from Neil. Thank you so much. The first time working with Neil, and these are really, really lovely. So yeah, I'm excited to work with these. The fingerboards, worth paying attention to. So with that, I've got to stop doing this. This is slightly concerning.